I'm from the NACO Enterprises, and we are going to start on databases. Now, we're going to cover two databases: Access, that is the Microsoft default database, and MySQL. Now, those two are relational databases, and by relational, I mean they use tables, and those tables have relationships. That's why we call them relational databases, in order to connect information from one table to another. Now, databases are basically where you store your data, and the importance of a database is that it actually helps you manage your data. It's like that storage unit that helps you store your items in a very sorted manner. At the same time, if you just want some particular data, you can just query the database. So the first lesson you're going to start is with Access. Access is by Microsoft, and we're going to say click a blank database. Now, if you're using 207, I've given the notes contain the tutorial of opening a 207 database using Access, but since I'm using 2021, so I'll just click on blank database, and I want my database to be created not on documents but in a folder of my choice. So yeah, database 2, I want this to be start database. So okay, then click create. Now by default it will create the first table for you. So let's go with file. This is where you create your database, save, open, close. Then home, you've got the views right here. You can, this is datasheet view, this is design view. And I'm going to get on tables later. You've got create. You can create a table, you can create queries, you can create forms, you can use reports, macros, Visual Basic, it's still here, application parts. Yeah, external data is when you actually import your data. I believe we covered this in the Excel part. You can even extract it to Word if you want. Then you've got your database tools, you've got your compact and repair database, Visual Basic, run micro, relationships, yeah, object dependencies, data documents, database documenter, analyze performance, analyze table, access database, SharePoint, and of course addings. Then you've got help. Now, since the first thing here, this is a table, so the table fields appear here and the table itself appear here. So table fields, if I click on this, it will going to ask me, do I want to shortcase? So for example, I want text, names, I want number here for age. Yeah, and then I can just start populating. I can just say Anne, age 60. And that's just how you create a record. You can see here in this field, the data type is auto number. You've got names, age, name is text, age is number. If you want to change it, you can change it here and just say it's currency. It's a yes or no. No. Yeah. You can delete one here. If you want. You cannot delete this because it's not the primary key. Now, something else you should know is about the primary key. If you want to change the primary key, simply come here and change to design view. Then I have to change this to names, and I the moment it's in design view, I can change. I just have to click on this, and this is no longer the primary key, and I can delete the row. Note you cannot delete a primary key. Yeah. And relationships. So in the documents that you're going to receive, there are questions there, access questions. So I think the best way of actually doing access is using questions. So I'm going to do exercise 1, and then you can try out the rest. So XYZ Hospital intends XYZ Hospital intends to use a database management system to manage their patients' records. Assume you've been tasked to create the hospital's database. 1. Open a database program and call it hospital, so blank database and hospital. Okay, yes. So hospitals. Now create the tables named patients ward. Now you can see here this field name and data type. This is not the datasheet view, so you have to come to the design view. So okay, oh sorry, primary key. Okay, you can just come in, create a new table. Then instead of clicking at table, I just click on table design. Automatically table 2 goes directly to field name. So the first thing is patient ID. The data type either is short. No, it's not short text. Number. Patient name. This one is text. Then DOP. This one is date or time. And the format, if you click on the format there, these arrow will show up, and I just say medium date. Yeah, then you just come back to create and you say table design. Okay, you can come here and just say save as patients. Yeah, I probably want a primary key. Yes, and the problem of saying this is it will bring me this option, so I'll have to remove that primary key, delete that row, and make that my primary key. Now a primary key is a unique field that has no repeated entries. So the next one is going to be word. We've got patient ID. So Control S and you can save it as Word. Okay, just say no. This one has no primary key. Then the next one is create, then table design again, and this one is doctors, so doctor ID. This one is text, then doctor's name. This one is also text, and then Control S, and this one is doctors. No, I can just click whenever I want to just say primary key. Now, you have to save all of them. You can right click on one and just say close all, and no, yes, yes. I can delete this table by right clicking and saying delete. Yes. Now, relationships is in database tools. No, external data. It's supposed to be in database tools. Relationships. So you have a different layout, so you just add. Now, this doctor ID is equal to this doctor ID. So you just drag and drop that. Create. You can even enforce integrity. Create. Now, note this. If they are not of the same data type, the relationship will have an error. It won't create it. Yeah. If anything is, even if your field size here is 10, this one should also be 10. They have to be totally 100% enforced integrity. We are using enforced integrity. Otherwise, if it's not that accurate, don't enforce integrity. Then you close. Yes. And then now you can proceed to answering all these questions. Using appropriate forms, enter the following data in their respective tables. Now, if you want to use forms, I've shown you how to populate using, I'm going to populate the patient ID using the datasheet view. This is not how you are supposed to do it, but using the datasheet view so that I can cover it. So to 1, the patient name is Alice. Then you get 1807 2001 to Beta 12 for 1999 to 3 James 16 auto 1978 to 4 Pamela 29th 10th 2002. Yeah, you can do it that way, and then you can save it. Or as you can see, you can use the create and then form. If you just create form there, if you click on form there, you're going to get all this information. Yes, which means for this record, because of the relationships, you have to enter the word ID, doctor ID, and bed ID. So patient ID, word ID is Pona 01, doctor ID is D1, then bed ID is BD1. Not all questions are answered this way. This one has specified that you actually use forms. Then you can maneuver through here. This is record 1 out of 4, so you can take it to the next record. Oh yeah, this part. The doctors, you have to create forms before we do that. So the doctor ID, so D1, okay, let me just enter it manually. D1, enter. This one is Mark. This one is D2. Then this one is D3. Wayne. Then this one should actually work now. Yeah. So what I did for 202 is Pona 02. 02. The doctor ID is D2. The bed ID is BD2. So next record. No. So next record 203. What I did Pona 02. The doctor ID is D1. The bed ID is BD5. Then the next record, this is the last one. You get Pona 01, then D3, then BD8. Now I'm done, but if you want to add a new record, you simply click here and you give a blank one, but I don't want a new one, so I'll just save it as it is. I can save the file as form as patient, but the moment I actually come back to the patient, doctors, and wards, all the information is here. So anything you actually fill in a form is automatically updated in a table. So you don't have to do the same work twice. It's automated. The moment that form is filled, it's automatically updated in the table. Yes, then create a query named query patients. So I come here and say create a query, so query wizard, simple query wizard. Okay, I want to display the fields, so patient name, then doctor's name, so doctor's table, doctor's name, then ward ID, these are already in the ward, so ward ID and bed ID. Note that if you have not formed relationships, these won't work. Next. Since you are not filtering anything, you just have to say finish. And there we have a query. Okay, you can rename your, I think there's a step I've skipped, so I want to repeat that one again. Query wizard. Okay, patient name, I can just say all of them. Then next here This is where you actually change the name and use say query patients, then finish. And now you have a new query. Then if you want to create a report based on this query, you just simply come in and just say report. Since the query already exists, you just have to create a report, and then you can save it as reports rpt. Note that if the fields are not available for just that file, if you don't have a query or a table that contains all that data, you just come here and say report wizard. What do I want? All that. Next. You want it sorted by patient name, doctors, either way. Patient name. Next. Ascending. You can see stepped, you can see block, you can see outline, so block. And then next. Preview the report, finish. And there go. Now here comes a new. Yeah, this is a report view. This is print view. You can close the print view and go to report view. Yeah. And then the question requires me to change this. Now, if I want to change the heading right there, I'll simply come here to layout view and then double click, then just say patient details. Yeah, and that's it. So tomorrow during our session, we are going to cover at least 3 more questions that offer a very different perspective, so that you can actually get what access is all about. A lot of people think access is difficult, but it's just that easy. It's that easy. You just have tables to work with. And if you understood pivot tables, this one is going to be very easy for you. Yeah. So thank you so much. This is the end of our session. My name is Esther. I'm from Denaco Enterprises, where we do business analysis and data analysis. Yeah, consulting. Have a lovely day.